So, bell ringer for today. Detail how federalism opens more opportunities for people to participate in politics. Describe what gerrymandering is and what your viewpoints are on gerrymandering. We just talked about this yesterday. So again, with federalism, making sure one political party doesn't become too strong, allowing for more opportunities for people in politics. But with gerrymandering, this might be a tactic used by political parties, maybe to gain more seats at the national level. There we go. Hey, this is good question. 3 or 4? What do we have? Was it 3? Okay, 3. Yeah, me questioning too. Yeah, I have it as 4 points. I'll change it back to 3. You finished? Yeah, go ahead. All right, so what do we got here? So how can federalism open more opportunities for political participation? What do we have here? Jeffrey, go ahead.
People running for office such as local government, school board, or even for
Kind of starting from the bottom up, right? So opening more opportunities for people to be participating and have their voices heard, and really maybe making a difference for their community at the local levels, and maybe working their way up to the state and national level. And I know I talked about it with federalism and political parties. How does this maybe cause a balance? How does this maybe cause a balance? Jeffrey, go ahead.
it allows people to elect who they want, and who they typically actually know from a different viewpoint than we do to politicians that run for actual representation that will affect everyone in the state rather than someone.
Okay, yeah, good job. Good job. And I know I talked about the states' rights position and nationalist position. This can even be reverted to local areas, school districts, and the state government, right? And then you can compare it to the state government to the national level, and how federalism just makes it more of an opportunity to really understand people's decisions, concerns in their specific areas. So, with the states' right position, what does that mean? What does that mean? The state rights position. We talked about this yesterday in class. Tanner, you remember?
It should be my Vocab to see.
The state rights position.
State reposition is when the national government isn't taking up the state's powers should be narrowly defined.
Yeah, good job. Good job. So we talked about how the state rights position is more just the idea where people have the ability and understanding what is right for them in their location. So again, it's not the national government to make decisions for your local area, okay, your community, because they have no idea the concerns, the issues that might arise within your own individual location, your own individual local government. So it's better for the state governments, the local entities, to make decisions for the betterment of the people in their own location. Does that make sense? It's not up to the national government to decide what's going on here in Elizabethville, PA. So that's what the state rights position is. Okay, there shouldn't be a broad covering of maybe mandates or maybe policies or maybe issues that are spread to these local areas. Okay, it should be up to the people to decide in their own small location, small entity of what needs to happen to answer some of these concerns and problems, because it might not fit for everybody, right? So let's just say with immigration, Texas has way more issues with immigration than, let's say, Pennsylvania. Okay, so federalism allows for these answers to be met at their own specific states and locations. All right, what about the nationalist viewpoint? Brock, what do you have for the nationalist position? Yeah, okay. So you're looking at the national level to answer all areas around the country. Okay. And again, this is kind of spreading over like a blanket of the country. It might not answer every individual request of, let's say, a state or let's say a local entity. But the nationalist position, okay, again, is just spreading these ideas from the national level onto the states. Okay, not favorable by many, but some view that the national government should have a broader range of authority. Okay, and we talked about McCulloch versus Maryland and the examples of state rights and nationalist position. So with McCulloch versus Maryland, do you think the state rights position, do you think they favor that outcome? They favor it? the state rights position? Brock? You think they favored that? No. You remember the implied powers, the elastic clause, right? Okay, so the state rights are saying, oh no, the reserve powers that was established with the 10th Amendment, this should be up to the states, right? Okay, this should be up to the states governments to obviously have these reserve powers to make the decisions that they would want within their own specific state. It's not specifically stated in the Constitution, these implied elastic clause and necessary and proper clause. So this shouldn't have been ruled this way. Okay, these implied powers shouldn't have been created. And if you're on the nationalist position, you're pretty happy with McCulloch versus Maryland case. This goes to show that the national government has powers that aren't specifically stated in the Constitution, that they are given implied powers. So again, that's kind of that position between state rights and nationalist position. So I know I talked about it yesterday with political parties. Right now, the Democratic Party more aligned with the national position, and state rights is mostly located with the Republican Party. Okay, what is gerrymandering? What does that mean? What is gerrymandering? So with federalism, this opens up many more opportunities for people to participate in politics and make sure their voices are heard. And if one political party maybe controls, let's say, the national level, the state entities, local entities might have the ability to vote in people that respect or align with their own political party, which kind of breaks up the authority, breaks up the power of one, let's say, specific political party. But what is gerrymandering? What does that mean? So federalism is good in many ways. Gerrymandering, some people think, maybe we should do away with this. Tanner, go ahead.
It's a practice that gives one political party the advantage,
Yeah, good job, good job. And how does that come about?
typically through like votes or policies.
Okay, so with the census, right? So with population, okay, how populations redefine demographics of a certain location, whatever political party has the state legislators at that time when the census comes out, they can reshape the districts of what votes go to what area. Okay, so they can maybe break up some urban populations by splitting them up into one separate district. Or if they have a larger population, they can break apart these urban areas to count as more votes and more help and benefit towards your political party. I know I showed this yesterday. Some of these districts are drawn out, right here, like number 12 and number 4 in North Carolina, and how this was really beneficial in this case for the Republican Party as they're breaking up some of these areas, let's say, with these urban populations. Okay, so they're trying to break it and spread it to a point where these large urban areas, it is kind of broken apart, and it maybe contain 2 urban areas so that the population of these don't count as more votes. Does that make sense? Okay. So again, gerrymandering, depending on the state legislature at that point, they can redraw the districts to seek an advantage, even though they might not have more popular votes. Okay, this can help them out in a certain way, depending on how the districts are drawn. And here's a good example I like to show. This might break it apart a little bit easier for you guys. So as we're redrawing districts, okay, let's say the 50 people here, 60% blue, 40% red. Okay, as you can see, there's more blue. Okay, perfect representation, number 1, you draw it within columns. So you have 3 blue, you have 2 red districts. You guys got that? Sarah, you got that? Okay, so number 2, compact and fair. So maybe you're doing it in rows. So again, 5 districts to blue, 0 towards red. Okay, it just goes to show with the population in those districts where it might go. And then number 3, again, with gerrymandering, this is how this kind of rolls. You can split up, depending the locations, the amount of votes, the amount of, depending on population, to help your political party out in certain circumstances, depending on the population. As you can see with number 3 over here, divided up in so many different ways that it just doesn't make sense to group. You could be in one location of state, and at the other far, let's say east or west or north or south, you could be still in the same district of way the population's drawn and way the district's drawn. So in this case, number 3, red has 3 districts and blue has 2 districts, even though the population doesn't even make sense, right? There's way more blue than red. And those are certain examples with gerrymandering that state legislatures could have the ability to mold in their benefit and mold in that certain political party's favor. Does that make sense, guys? I think that's a really good representation of what gerrymandering is. So what's your opinion? What do you think? Jeffrey, what do you think?
I think it's unfair. People that have more party, and that's the people's choice. If you're gerrymandering, then you're taking away the point of it being people's choice.
Okay, all right, yeah, good, good. Rock, what do you think? Yeah, in a way, right? In a way, you're kind of shaping it towards your benefit, even though the population might be against your maybe agenda, your political party. Madden, what do you think? What's that?
It's not a say.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, good, good job, good job. So it's something that maybe in the future they can try to reshape. But this was created in the early 1800s in Massachusetts. Okay, governor actually decided to reshape the districts to help his political party out. And guess what political party that was? Anti-federalist or federalist? They wanted a stronger national government, so he shaped it for the federalist viewpoint. So again, gerrymandering really was a part of our country really from almost the very beginning. And really these reshaping districts has not been a new thing. It happens, like I said, every census. And depending on what political parties really in charge at that time, that's kind of how it's shaped. All right, any questions on that, guys? We good? Okay, I'm gonna come around and check your bell ringers, so have those out ready to go. I also have, since it's coming to the end of the chapter, Tuesday we're gonna have the exam. Monday we'll have a review. Down here at the bottom, I'm gonna publish your vocab. Well, once it starts to work, there we go. And I'm gonna post your study guide. So the study guide's up. Please use your time wisely in here. I don't want to see you on your phones, guys. It's disrespectful, okay? Please stay off your phones when I'm talking, when I'm presenting information. And obviously, you should be working on your study guide now. I just view it as disrespect, guys. Okay, so that's what I got for today. I'm gonna come around and check your